Welcome, my beauty, to our hypnotherapy session. Today we will learn to release perfectionism and selfishness, with the outcome, of course, to stop being selfish, increase cooperation with others, to embrace progress and not for perfection. And all this will strengthen self-esteem. Instructions are simple. Simply sit or lie down in a quiet place and turn off any distractions. Make sure that you allow enough time to complete this session and a little time to integrate what you've learned. I like to have a drink of water after a session just to kind of clear things out. Maybe you want to have that handy. Do not drive when doing hypnotherapy, and this is for your safety. Let's begin by getting comfortable. And go ahead and take a nice deep breath in and hold it. And as you let it out, enjoying that wonderful wave of relaxation from your head to your toes. Good. Another nice deep breath in and hold it. And as you let it out, releasing any thoughts or cares from the day as you enjoy that sensation of relaxation. One more nice deep breath in and hold it. And as you let it out, really appreciating your body's capacity to relax. And if you haven't yet, you can go ahead and close your eyes. And they may feel tearful and want to relax. And you're very good at trancing now. And it's easy to go into a relaxed state. Just allow your eyelids to close down now and let yourself go deeper and deeper into relaxation. Just allow yourself to settle into your body. Notice your hand and your arm. Feel heavy but comfortable. Comfortably heavy. My hand, my arm feels comfortably heavy. Begin to notice your other hand and arm and the heaviness growing there. And you can say to yourself, my hand and arm feel comfortably heavy. Both my hands and arms feel comfortably heavy as you go deeper and deeper into relaxation. And take note of one of your feet and your leg. My foot and leg becoming more heavy, comfortably heavy. My foot and leg are comfortably heavy. So deep, so relaxed. And begin to become aware of your other foot, your other leg, and notice the heaviness growing in there. My foot and leg are comfortably heavy. Both my feet and legs are comfortably heavy. My hands, my arms, my feet and legs are comfortably heavy. And feel the support underneath you and how relaxed and comfortable you feel. So deep, so relaxed. So deep and relaxed. I wonder if you may be one of those people who feel that they can't settle for less than perfection. And perhaps even that you may as well not even try if you can't do something perfectly. Many people make themselves miserable by striving to be superior, the best, the first, perfect. They become enslaved, striving for the mistaken goal of perfection and superiority. They mistakenly believe that the only thing worth being in life is a star, above other people, the best, the first, or perfect. That is a belief that will bring misery. Expecting perfection from yourself and others leads to disappointment and depression. Because we are all human and imperfect. When we have the goal of perfection, we will just automatically feel inadequate because we can't reach such a goal. You may even avoid things, putting them off until the last minute, procrastinating, so that you can tell yourself, I would have done better if I'd had more time. I think, however, that you can be pleasantly relieved when you change your goal from perfection to being competent in making a contribution. Life can be so much more enjoyable, so much more rewarding, when our goal is simply to do things well and just to keep gradually improving. I want you to appreciate the value, the benefit of accepting yourself as imperfect, but in the process of growing, in the process of gradually learning and getting better and better. The natural process of change is generally a process of taking a series of steps. We roll over and learn to crawl before we learn to walk, or run, or ride a bicycle. We practice walking hundreds, thousands of times. Nobody ever says to a child, you have failed to learn to walk and you will never learn to walk. They're just encouraged to keep trying, because you have to roll over and learn to crawl before you can walk or run or ride a bicycle. We learn addition before we progress to multiplication or algebra. The natural order of things is gradual growth and improvement. We don't have to be perfect, and certainly not overnight. We change by gradually walking up a series of steps. No one can leap up a whole staircase, far less leap a tall building in a single bound. We are human, and it is unrealistic to expect ourselves to be superhuman. And different people make progress in different ways. So I'd like to suggest, if it's okay, that you be patient with yourself, because you are unique and you have your own unique process of growth. Would that be okay? And I'd like you to really enjoy each small improvement, each small change. Experience changes fully and take credit for the improvements and gains that you make, however small. I'd like you to just appreciate how you make changes and not become impatient with how fast those changes take place. And as you accept the goal of being competent and making a contribution, instead of being perfect or superior, your relationships with people will become more gratifying, more harmonious. People who strive to be the best or superior to others come to view the world as an unpleasant, competitive, dog-eat-dog jungle. Other people dislike them. When your goal is to be better than others, you're forever competing and continually insecure. because it's impossible to measure who is best. But you can free yourself from the tyranny of trying to be better than others. It can be gratifying, so refreshing, to simply have the goal of making a contribution to other people. When you simply strive to improve and make a contribution in life, people become friends, allies, instead of threatening competitors. And we feel a fraternity, a sisterhood, a bond with people. The new goal is now cooperation, not competition. Cooperation. And if your unconscious mind is willing to change your inner goal to growing, improving, and making a contribution instead of perfectionism and competitiveness, say yes. The goal of competition is a mistaken goal because you cannot win. Cooperation becomes the goal. And if your unconscious mind is willing to change your inner goal to growing, improving, and making a contribution, instead of suffering with perfectionism and competitiveness, say yes. What a relief to be free of the burden of trying to be the best or perfect or superior. It is so much easier, so much more satisfying, so natural to accept yourself as human and in the process of improving and growing. No need to compete with anyone. There's no way to measure who's the best anyway. And I wonder if you'll be surprised at how attractive you will now become, how enthusiastic you'll become about the goal of cooperating and working together and making a contribution instead of trying to be perfect. And I wonder if you'll notice how spontaneously, how automatically you can find yourself cooperating with people and thinking in terms of making a contribution. It will feel like such a relief, like becoming a member of the human family. And because your unconscious mind has altered this inward basic goal, you will find that all this will occur so easily, without your even thinking. And you can celebrate your humanness and enjoy having the courage to be imperfect. And take a nice deep breath here. We've all made mistakes, and I'm sure that you can recall a time when you made a mistake that taught you something, even though it may have been unpleasant. You can recall making a mistake that you learned something valuable from, can you not? And as you recall that memory, just allow it to bubble up to the surface. A time where, even though it may have been unpleasant, you can recall making a mistake that you learned something valuable from, can you not? I want you to begin to appreciate the fact that without having made mistakes like that, you would have never learned and progressed. As a kid, did you ever touch a light plug and get a shock that really kind of jolted you? Or touch the stove when it's hot? Many of us had that experience, and we learned something very important from that, even though it was a very unpleasant jolt or a sensation of hot. And similarly, it's because you've had the pain of a burn that you learn to be cautious with fire. Your imperfect mistakes have been perfect opportunities for a wealth of learnings that have formed an indispensable foundation to build on. So don't be mistaken about mistakes. The more unpleasant it is, the more pleasant will be your learning. And yet, so many people are afraid to try for fear they'll make mistakes. And when they do make a mistake, they try to cover it up, for fear people will think less of them or think they're weak or stupid. But I'd like you, if it's okay, to appreciate the fact that mistakes are not only tolerable, but are actually desirable, because we learn through making mistakes. Great wisdom comes from great experiences. And great experiences come from bad judgment, right? Have you ever been around someone who was afraid to admit they had made a mistake? They're very tense and defensive, so they find it hard to grow and improve. What I'd like you to consider is the benefit of having the courage to be imperfect. I wonder if you've had the experience, I certainly have, of finding that when you see people make an error or mistake, that you can actually feel relieved to see that they are human too. Most people feel more willing to have a relationship with someone who seems human rather than perfect. And if someone does criticize you for making an honest mistake, it's probably because they are insecure. I wonder if you might even find it interesting growth experience to tell friends about some mistakes you make, or about mistakes that you have made, instead of trying to hide and cover them up. In fact, wouldn't it be fascinating? As a way of giving you practice, allowing yourself to be human and imperfect. If your unconscious mind were to arrange for you to make some minor mistakes, and while your unconscious mind may take a kind of pleasure in letting you be human, I don't know at first if it will make you a little nervous, or if it will, in some strange way, seem more fun and almost amusing to find that you can make an occasional silly mistake without shame. Or maybe it will just give you the feeling of, welcome to the human race. But deep inside, you can begin to get that feeling that it really is all right to be human and to make some mistakes so that you can learn and grow even more rapidly. It really is all right to be human and to make some mistakes so that you can learn and grow more rapidly. Beautiful. And go ahead and bring your hands to your heart center. Feel your heart center like a big, bright sunshine filled with love and with light. Really let yourself feel the fullness of your heart. Notice the warmth of that love and that light. Know that the source of this love is within you, is right here in your heart center. It is always present. You do not have to do anything to earn it. You do not have to be anyone but yourself. It is so simple. It is right there. Anytime you want to feel this love, just put your hands to the center of your chest and you will feel it. All healing happens in the heart center. There is no room for negativity when the positive feeling is so strong. Beautiful. In a moment now, I'm going to count from 1 up to 5. And you'll come back to the room feeling relaxed and refreshed. 1, the energy is flooding back into your body now. 2, feeling refreshed and relaxed. 3, with lots and lots of energy, wiggling fingers and toes. 4, feeling unconditional love in your heart. And 5, open your eyes, wide awake, feeling refreshed and relaxed.